matches up with Guru Swami-G's comments about relationships in general. I would say it's probably a lot like this. Either there's a lot of attention drawn outward in dealing with issues that come up, or it could be that the two completely become attached with each other and they're deeply in love with each other. And as far as for the scriptures will tell you, not just from this path, but the scriptures will tell you that if one has an inclination for a monkish type of a lifestyle, that it's advisable to not get into relationships. Now, this is not for everyone. To be a monk or a nun, this is not for everyone. But there is a reference in throughout the ages, and this is a traditional path here. That for those that are going to walk that kind of live that kind of a lifestyle, that this is conducive for a chance for enlightenment to unfold, because you're not engaging in what oftentimes becomes drama that unfolds within relationships.
So I'm going to interject something here. On any traditional path that's going towards enlightenment, part of it is to develop vairagya, or this dispassion. Now, vairagya and dispassion do not go together with a relationship of that type. Now, poor little Henry's got his nose out of joint because he was rebuffed by one of my sadhus that is a celibate. So he's got this whole thing twisted up. We've got two women here that are celibates. 99.9% of the people on this path are in relationships. Celibacy is only for those that are interested in going the whole way to realization. So again, he takes something out of context because he got rebuffed. How dare you have this beautiful woman that I'm interested in? After all, I'm a widower for 15 years and she should be fair game for me, and she's been taken off the plate. Well, I'm sorry, Henry. Even if she were sexually active, she wouldn't be interested in you. No way, no shape, no form. Absolutely not. So we're going to continue to see what my student has to say in answer to your, once again, bullshit video. Mr. Oh yes, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Well, no, you're not. You're obsessed. You're obsessed. You can't stand it that I've read Ramana. And it absolutely discounts what you're saying. And so you're going to continue to make your bullshit spin videos because you have got no type of experience anywhere. And when you have no experience, you're just wandering, floundering around in the dark. And you're making yourself look like a total ass. Let's see what my student has to say. This must be another new video that he's put out within the last, what happened those 4 videos ago that you were quitting, you were done? Oh, I finished my expose. No, you are absolutely obsessed with here. Obsessed. This path has never been a business. It's not a business now. It has never been a business, and it's never going to be a business. Okay? I have never made money off the teachings. Okay? We don't hold retreats and seminars and teaching, bullshit things in order to make money. Never. Has not happened, will not happen. Okay? Absolutely not. So for you to sit there and say you're going to shut down this business, and I think you're really pissed because we've gone to the authorities in Quebec, because you're not a psychotherapist. So you are pissed to the max because you've been outed as not being an authority, not having licensure, nothing. So you're going to make us pay. Isn't that sweet? Where's all your ahimsa? Where is all your brilliance, mister? Let's see what else we have to say.
Now, in my case, I can't speak for everyone, but I've had girlfriends. Never been married, but it, in my case, really did get the mind riled up, and what the path is about is the mind stilling. This is basically the central pointing for the path, for the mind to still. And so the two are not, they don't work well together. For one that wants to walk the path in a monk's type of a way, versus being in a relationship, they don't work well together. Just if you want to walk this path and go in the direction for enlightenment and mind stilling, the advice would be that if one is inclined to do so, then yes, don't be in relationships and celibacy. But that's not forced. That's just an option. One has to walk this path themselves and decide what way they're going to do it.
We have a lot of people on this path that are in marriages. They are not celibate. They will never be celibate. Their goal is not realization. Now, if you want to be pissed off because some people are celibate and not relation, why don't you go argue with all the sadhus and all the sadhvis in India, all the nuns, all those that have chosen to live that celibate lifestyle, all the Franciscan monks? Why are they doing it? As far as, and Christ said, that to love the God the Father. He also said, if you have seen me, you've seen the Father that sent me. Why did he say that? I and the Father are one. If you have seen me, you've seen the Father that sent me. Now the religiosity of the day were pissed off to the max that he would say that. Okay? What is realization? What is it? It's again the same thing that Sufi saying is. When I am, God is not. When I am not, God is. What does that mean? Do you have any clue? Obviously you don't. Obviously you don't understand the bhakti path. In the bhakti path, let me explain a little something to you, troll man. In a bhakti path, the goal is to merge with Krishna. Since you were in Hare Krishnas, let me explain it a little bit to you because you've obviously understood nothing. The goal is never to be separate from Krishna. The goal is once you are with that lover, you merge together as one. And you lose yourself within it. And then all that remains is what? that object of desire. Okay? One becomes that which they are enamored of. One dissolves into that, becomes that, enters into the heart of it. Okay. Let me explain another one to you. Ramakrishna. He merged in Kali. But then he backed out, back into duality. Why? He said, because I don't want to be the sugar. I want to taste the sugar. Do you understand what that means? Apparently not. When one merges, like a dissolving sugar cube, or like they use in many of the texts, the salt in the water, you become that. So if you think that that means that you are beyond God, that anyone has said they're ever beyond God, then you are a fool. 100% a fool. So I'm going to continue to address your assertions. I was married before. I've had 2 children. I had a past. Oh my God. Yes, I had a past. Very, very far, 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 far in the past. I was in the military. I served my country. I came back with severe PTSD. You, Mr. Supposed psychotherapist that has no licensing, and that's why you're on this witch hunt, because you've been outed to Quebec, and you absolutely can't stand it now because you can't pull your wool over the people's eyes on YouTube anymore with you and your 10,000 people that you're working with, and you are such a great psychotherapist. You're not a psychotherapist at all. You're self-proclaimed. You're an idiot. Let me explain something about PTSD to you. Okay, let me explain something about it to you. Yes, I was in the military. I went through rapes by the men I'm supposed to be serving with. The prevailing view during Vietnam era, let me explain it to you, that the women were considered either to be whores or lesbians. You go in the military to serve your country, and what do you get? Persecuted by the men you're supposed to be serving with. I was on a base. There was only one other woman there that was not a nurse. I was attacked. I was gang raped. Now, you want to put that little factoid out there as well? I've never hidden anything. This is none of your business. I came back with severe PTSD. Okay? Part of acting, when you have PTSD, you have very short relationships. None of my marriages lasted more than a few months. The longest was a year. That's it. They were all in the very, very, very far, 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 far past. Nothing to do with now. Nothing to do with my path. They were fuel for my going forward, which 99% of my path was celibate. To do anything I could to get off the wheel of karma, because I knew suffering. And my commitment to the universe was when I got out of suffering, I would do what I could to aid humanity, which I have done in spades for the last 15 years. Okay. You know nothing about PTSD. You know nothing about my past, other than you're going to sit here and make all of these assertions. Well, I'm here to clear it up. I have not made one bone. I have not stuttered, nothing. And I continue to say that yes, one gets to realization, the mind stills. That's the truth. The body reacts. The body has cellular memory. The body is the body. The body does what it's going to do. Okay? So again, you have no understanding, no nothing. And you think I'm depriving these people of a relationship because you're all hot and bothered over Siddhananda. And she won't give you the time of day. Not now, not ever. So you can just leave that. As far as riding a motorcycle, I had a motorcycle. I do not have one now. As far as owning all these galleries and one in Palm Beach, please, when you find the address of the one in Palm Beach, let me know. Because it doesn't exist. As far as all this money, when you find a money tree, let me know, because it's not here. Okay? Now I've had enough of your absolute bullshit. And doing everything you can to discredit and dishonor and disrespect what's here. I have been 100% always point blank honest with my students, and that's not going to change. And no amount of your harassment and bullshit and your lies and your trolling is going to change that. You want to use my name when I was in the military as a way of absolute disrespect. That name was legally changed long ago for a lot of different reasons. None of them concern you. But the fact that you would go back and call yourself a psychotherapist and know I had been diagnosed with PTSD and throw a name out there that has to do with all of that drama is an unconscionable thing to do. If you believe that I am not enlightened and not realized, then you are doing it as a form of torture. That is heinous. That is absolutely heinous and as ugly as you can get. It's also against the law. You can be sued. It's called doxy. You're releasing private information and you can be sued for that. My suggestion is you take it down. In order to aid humanity, you have to go through the trenches. Okay? And most spiritual teachers have had to have very difficult, very, very hard lives and have had to go through the dirt, the mud, the absolute depths in order to find a way out. I've spoken openly about being raped. It was, in a way, a left-handed blessing. Why is that? Because it causes you to sit there and encounter whatever you have to encounter to be out of the suffering. Okay? So don't come out here with your bullshit ideas about why people are celibate here. That everybody's forced to be celibate. Again, 99.9% of the people on this path are not celibate. They have no intention of attempting to go forwards to realization. And if you want to discount here because people are celibate, again, read the texts, which you sit there and claim you've read for 40 years. Then you haven't understood anything. Did you skip magically where the sadhus and everything, they're supposed to be celibate? Oh, but if you want to date one of them, then no holds barred. You're going to get down and dirty and nasty. You are such a troll, little man. Such a troll. Let's see what else you have to say and what my student has to say on this. Okay.
So concluding,
it will rise. I will tell you when it is risen. And then it will take about 13 to 14 years to stabilize.
Okay, this is again completely misunderstood. The Kundalini, as I said, is awake for many before they came here, or it wakes up when they enter the path. And the Kundalini is not enlightenment. So what Henry is trying to talk about when he says the 13 years for stabilization is after everything falls away, when the Kundalini process is completed. Then after that, when enlightenment is there, when the mind has stilled, then there's a process of 10 to 12 years of settling so that the mind stays still. That's what's explained, not to stabilize Kundalini, no.
So I'm going to go ahead and expound on that a little more. Yes, it takes that long for everything to stabilize, as in the Ashtavakra Gita says, if you then water the peepal tree, it will reroot and it grow again. Okay? This is expounded in the texts. If you knew what to look for, but you don't know what to look for. He's on this bender that my sadhak has been here for 14 years. This is her statement. She's been here 14 years and has been celibate. He came, he's got a hard-on for her, and he can't stand it. He can't stand it. This man is so wrapped up in freaking sex and thinking with his penis that he doesn't see anything. What a troll. What a lech. Okay? You can be a lech and a troll somewhere else. You can be pissed off because you've gotten outed, because we looked you up in the standing in Quebec, and you have no standing. So you're going to do everything you can to ruin here. Why? Because you were rebuffed sexually, because you were made to take down a video where you're harassing her sexually in it, and because you are now being outed to Quebec. You're also being looked into as far as your hypnotherapist, which you are also not licensed to do, which you need to be licensed to do in Quebec. So not only are you a troll, you're a deceiving liar. Great, you've gone to Rick Ross' site and you've talked to one person that came into this path and she lied her way through it. Okay? So this is what you're taking and basing all of your factoids on. This is what your spin is all about. Okay? Somebody that got their nose out of joint because, oh, horrid. She was taken from one site and taken and put in another group and felt she had been demoted, and now she's got her nose out of joint. Great. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let's see what else he has to say.
In the meantime, she will ask you for service and donation and 10% of your income if you are stupid enough to do it.
Okay, so
Oh my
there's not
God.
10% of your income asked for. People were giving nothing all these years, and so as of late, in the last few years, what happened is it came out and said, okay, enough of that. Now, people really shouldn't just be taking advantage like that. So everyone should come up with some donation that they're going to give. There was no monetary amount mentioned, just some kind of donation, and then one should donate it, because it does take money to operate. Money doesn't grow on trees, as we've heard it.
So let me expound on this further. There are some here that have never given. They've never given a dime. Are the teachings withheld from them? No, absolutely not. Even if we had said, give a tithe, the Christian churches give a tithe, but nobody here gives 10%, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Not anywhere near close to that. Never. Maybe somebody, I think at the max, might give like, what, 2%, 1%, if that, if that. I would have to say on the whole, most give maybe $20, $50. Okay. So where is all this vast money that you think is coming from? We've got 25 people here now. A lot of them give nothing. So where is all this financial money that I'm just raking people over the coals for? For 10 years, 10, 12 years, I gave all the teachings, answered every single letter, every single call, spent all my time from morning till night, from 6 a.m. to sometimes 2, 3 in the morning, answering every single letter of these people without 1 penny of compensation. Without 1 penny. And then I've got people like Rick Ross and you troll, and the Rick Ross trolls that want to come in here and ask for my financial statements. Whereas he'll go charge $600 an hour for a consultation. Are you kidding me? You ever heard Christ say, before you're trying to remove the speck here, take the log out of your eye? You might want to do that. You might want to do that. What little money comes in covers internet, phone, things like that. Now, if you want to begrudge that, be my guest. But this is absolutely blatant, defamation. Blatant, 100%. You are doing everything you can to be the nastiest that you can be. And I'm telling you, you're succeeding at being an absolute and nasty troll. So let's go forward. Nothing's been hidden here. It's been transparent. So where are you going to go with it? You think you've got some real big, deep information that you're releasing that's going to put me in a tailspin? Really? Really? I've spoken about these things with my students before. You're not releasing anything that anybody on this path doesn't already know. Because the first 3 hallmarks of this path are honesty, integrity, and transparency, which I have been with my students from day one. But since you've never been here, you have no idea. And since you're with that spinner of, oh, I know all this secret information, it's never been secret, you idiot. What part of that do you not understand? It's never been secret. My past has not been secret. Anybody that wanted to know about it, I have spoken about it quite openly. So what do you think you're revealing now? Really, what do you think you're revealing? All you're revealing is your absolute ignorance. That's the only thing you're revealing. You couldn't stand, and you can't stand, when you make these assertions that I read Ramana letter for letter, word for word, verse for verse, 100%, and it discounts everything you are saying. Can't stand it. Can't stand that you were outed, that you are not a psychotherapist, that hypnotherapists do not have an MA. So again, you're making yourself look like a fool. That people, before they go to you, they should check with Quebec. And they will find that you are not what you claim to be. You use it as a big prop for your videos, that you have some sort of an authority. And all you are is self-proclaimed with no knowledge whatsoever. You barely skim the beginning of texts, take things out of context, spin it in 1,000 different directions. Don't even understand the basics of why any path has celibacy. You have such an issue with celibacy. You discount all the sadhus, you discount all the nuns, you discount all the monks in the world because you have a problem with it. Let's go and look and see what else is left.
I'm pretty convinced at this point that she knows deep in her heart that she's bullshitting me.
No, that's not right. People are, such as myself, have the awakened Kundalini. I'm very thankful for the clarity. I was in TM for 28 years prior, and while I benefited from it, it didn't have the direct, straight, cutting through pointings, which basically give me the ability to function in clarity and without confusion. And, that's the value of a guru.
And Sharon, if you still have a conscience, I know you said that you lost your mind in India. But if you have...
Now, lost the mind means that the mind fell away. Ramana makes reference to this. Yes, the mind stills. Mind is no more. This usually it's not a popular thing that paths will want to promote because people, as soon as they hear that, are like, get me away from here. I want nothing to do with that. So, for example, in TM, which has millions of followers, they talk about fulfill all your desires and accomplish what you want to accomplish and be one with the universe, things like that. But no, the truth of the matter is that just like a plant, it doesn't think when it needs to do what it needs to do. It just does what needs to be done without thinking. So it's possible with the thinking process completely stilled, as the Bible quote says, be still and know. So with the mind completely stilled, people become afraid, oh my God, I won't be able to function. But no, you see, just as that plant is able to function flawlessly, this is the state of enlightenment, where it's just in the moment functioning.
So I'm going to add a little more to that. You know, what you're doing, troll man, yet again, is trying to use buzzwords. You lost your mind in India. Implying that I'm, crazy? You love to do that. You love to put out things and try to link one thing with another with a buzzword. You are unconscionable. You are unconscionable. And you are creating such karma for yourself. Okay. When I say the mind is still, that's exactly what I mean. When I say I was in India and everything deconstructed on the banks of the Ganges, that's exactly what I mean. When my students express that they are in and out of that state, that's exactly what they mean. Once again, they haven't been told this, they experience it directly. They experience it directly. So no amount of your lies and your bullshit and your spins and your drama is going to change that. Students that come into the gallery, if you had been open without coming with an agenda, maybe you would have had enough grace to taste a little something, but you came with ulterior motives. Your heart is not pure, your heart is not open. You're a nasty man. Those that have come to the gallery where my artwork is, the students from this path have a very strong transmission when they walk in. You can ask Liza, you can ask Ravi, you can ask those that have come to visit. You can ask those that are around me what happens, that their mind stills. The thoughts drop away. That's no bullshit. Okay? No matter how much you want to claim it is, they have the direct experience of it. And any direct experience blows all your words and bullshit out of the water. I have always said, I don't give a rat's ass which way you want to go. If you want to believe that enlightenment is here, great. Then listen to what is said and go forward in your life. And if you want to discount it, you want to think I'm bullshit, then fine. Do the work yourself and find out. It's what I've always said. I've never said believe here blindly. I have always said and continue to say that you have to have the direct experience. It's not about accepting a load of dogma, a lot of bullshit spin stories. Never have I ever said that. I have said you have to encounter yourself and the emotions and the things that are coming up. You have to sit with it and you have to go deeper than that. I have always said the Guru is within. Always surrender into your own heart center. What has that to do with Guru worship here? You have taken things 180 degrees from what is taught in this path. Attempting to defame and not understanding one iota of anything that is said here. That is not forgiven. Like Christ said, you can say what you want to say against me, but you can't, call that which is good dark. And that's what you're doing. You're calling that which is good dark. That's a very foolish thing to be doing. Very, very foolish. Let's see what the rest of this has to say. I think we've got less than 2 minutes left.
Free the people that you have enslaved.
The enslavement is not. The enslavement is not from anyone else's doing, but each one's own enslavement, which we've put ourselves in. And what Guru Swami-G is all about is to free people up from that enslavement, which means liberation or that state of enlightenment. And there's no reason for Guru Swami-G to stop with her offering. In fact, those students who have the eyes to see and the ears to hear are very grateful for the guidance and that's all you can say. Those that don't understand it, we wish you the best. I mean, I can't force you to understand something. I can advise that if what we say with the opening of the Kundalini, if this doesn't, if this is not yet your own experience, best thing is keep quiet. Take the internal search instead of trying to trash this path. Be concerned with your own path and move forward with whatever path that is, and don't take anyone's word for it. Don't take our word for it about anything. Find out for yourself what this is all about. With that, I say namaste.
So that's the end of that. And so as far as enslaving people, and Mr. Henry, as far as being a hypnotherapist, I wouldn't trust him to give hypnosis to anyone. This man is a troll. He has no ethics whatsoever. He's concerned with brainwashing, exactly. Hypnotherapy is a way, hypnosis, when it's done wrong, is a way to enslave people. He wants to know about brainwashing. He's all about that. Some of the techniques he tries to do, and like he tried to say in his one of his letters to me, he was attempting to try to hypnotize me in the midst of the thing. Really? Trying to use your BS hypnosis techniques? This man is a danger. He's deluded. It's very sad. When you spend a lot of years, spend a lot of lifetimes, had a very difficult time in this lifetime, went through, that's why my book is entitled Kundalini from Hell to Heaven. And I might say as well in this, Kundalini and as far as PTSD or other traumatic things, they're separate. One can kind of go into the other, and you can think they're really combined, but they're really separate issues as to when you're working and stuff. But yes, it is possible to go forward. That is possible. Again, I have always been extremely point-blank honest with it. And what my findings are the same findings that Ramana puts out, that Ramana has said, 100%. Okay, the body's the body does what it does. Bodies have cellular memory. Okay, that happens. And as far as the mind, yes, the mind stills. If the mind weren't stilled here, if that consciousness were not being held, then the students that come around would not be having the experience of the stilling of the mind when they get around Guru. That happens. No BS. And again, no amount of your word spinning is going to change that. That is a fact. It happens. They can attest to that. So you can take yourself and your Rick Ross site and your drama and your lies about who and what you are, who and what you think you are in your mind, 10,000 clients that you have. If you had 5 clients, I'm sure the state of Quebec will be very happy to be looking into that, because you're not licensed, you're not a psychotherapist. And they take that quite seriously there. Okay? So you don't like the fact you're being outed. Oh, so you're going to out here, but you're not outing anything. You're not putting anything out there that people on this path don't already know. You think I'm going to run and hide? I'm not running anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. And it doesn't matter how many of your lies and your bullshit spin videos you put out there, I'm going to be right here. I'm going to be continuing to work with the people that I can work with, that I can aid, that I can help. Okay? The ignorant wanted to crucify Christ. When Kabir was here, both sides wanted to string him up. Why? Because he spoke the truth. Because he absolutely was not mincing words. Okay? Nisargadatta had a life. He eats meat. He would get angry. He is realized. Even Ramana slapped a boy. I've never slapped anyone. Okay? Oh, but that, no, you're going to dissuade. Yeah, yes. Ramana slapped a boy. Again, I've never slapped anyone. If you want to know about Nityananda the Avadut, they would say to him, they would have translators, and what he really says was, tell the sister fuckers to get out of here and leave me alone. Because why? All they wanted was give me, give me, give me, give me, give me. They didn't want knowledge. All they wanted was the bullshit. He got so tired of dealing with the bullshit of people that he physically left his form. He said, I have not one genuine person here. Not one. And yes, I've actually spoken with the son of the man that was with him when he left his body. Okay. He did not hold up Muktananda as a great light. He said, I don't have one, not one. And he left his form. And when they did the autopsy, he was in perfect health. Why is that? So if you're going to give a path, if you're going to be a trailblazer, if you're going to be out there and buck the tide, which I as a woman am doing, I'm a woman, I'm from the West, I work on the internet. I am bucking the tide in so many ways. A guru is there to shed light, it's there to challenge you, to get beyond your self-constructed boxes of enslavement that you have yourselves within. That's what's being enslaved. You want to make it seem like people come here and they're told to believe this and told to believe that. It's furthest thing from the truth. And I resent it, and I'm not going to have you putting that bullshit out there. If people ask me what to do, I say you have to figure it out yourself. You live with the consequences of your actions, not me. I do not have to live with the consequences of your actions. You have to live with it. Therefore, you have to make your choices in life. Now, what part of that sounds like enslavement to you? And you're free to walk out the door at any time. People aren't made to come live here. They're not in an encampment with guns like they were with Muktananda, or with, what was it, the other one? Osho. With Osho. We have no wire fences, we have no guns. My students regularly go back to visit their families. In fact, Sachi is on her way back to visit her family, spend time there. Siddhananda just came back from her son's graduation. People are in touch with their families all the time. Ronald, when his mother's in town, part of the directive is to take her out at least once a month, twice a month, and make her feel special for all she's given in your life. So what part of that is being estranged from the family? You, sir, have been conned by a con artist just like yourself. You want to believe the hype and the spin and the drama from somebody that had their nose out of joint. She wanted to try to pull the wool over people's eyes here with experiences she didn't have, to be put on a pedestal, and when that came crumbling down, she decided to get nasty. And you're right on that road track with her. Why? Because you came with an agenda. Have the hots for one of my students. Because that's all you talk about, 14 years, celibacy. Oh my God, she's not allowed to enjoy a relationship. She wouldn't want one with you anyway, so knock it off. Quit being a freaking troll. Go on with your life. Such as it may be, with all the vast money you say you have. So while we're on that point, with all your vast wealth, how many hospitals are you building? How many refugee camps are you helping? How many children are you feeding? No, you're running around the planet, making videos, and being an asshole. And then talking to me, who doesn't charge her students, who's given 15 years of her life to do what she can to put a path together, to give all the information that I can do to help people that are in Kundalini awakenings to stabilize and to go forward in their lives in a beneficial manner. You're going to sit here and talk to me that I'm no Mother Teresa. Well, that's never been my path to be Mother Teresa. And that I'm bogus and bullshit because I'm not building hospitals. I'm not feeding the refugees. I'm not taking care of the poor. Let me remind you once again, I have given all I can give for years and years and years and years. Have not charged, have not sold courses. Whatever retreats we had, we just barely covered the expenses. Okay? Continue to give. People are on their honor to give back in some way, shape, or form. Something. Something. Even if it's $1 a month. Even if it's $5. Because it's a little heinous when you have people that will go out, they'll go to the movies, they'll go to entertainment, think nothing about dropping a $20 bill, and yet they want to be one-on-one, have all the help, all the guidance for nothing. They'll tip the person that drops off their coffee more than they gave to this path for 10, 12 years. That's the God's honest truth. Okay, so finally you have to say something. You should get back in some manner. That's the way the universe works, in exchange. Not just take until the well is dry. Don't abuse that. I don't care what tradition it is, whether it's Christianity, whether it's Hinduism, whether it's Buddhism. Those that are getting the lessons and the teaching should be giving back in some manner. That is part of it. That is part of it. In India, they know you do not go to a guru empty-handed. You don't do it. Okay? In the Christian, it's supposed to be a 10% tithe. I didn't make that up. That's what they say. So let me again stress it one more time. I gave 10, 12 years without a dime in compensation. From 6 a.m. till 3 a.m. in the morning. Absolutely bone dead tired, would fall into bed. And if this person were honest that left, if this person were honest, which she's not being, she would tell you, I went on my own to give her Diksha, where she's at, without an ounce of compensation from her. Many times I made trips and went out of my way to go visit, give her the opportunity for darshan. Did she ever once invite me to her home? No. Why is that? Because she has to control everything in her environment. Okay. So where was the giving? Who was being taken advantage of? Who? Wasn't her. Guaranteed it wasn't her. She also took for a lot of years and never gave a dime. She come to retreat, was more interested in gossiping and running out to shop than she was in the retreat. And this is your proud and sterling person that's going to give you everything about this path because she's so in sync with it. All the private stuff she knows. Really? Really? The more you put these videos out, the more you look like an absolute fool. So I will leave that right here. Okay? Nothing's been hidden on this path, not ever. Okay? This path is about challenging yourself to the depths of being. It's about diving into your own heart center, finding out what's there, what's true, what's not. So if you want to call that enslavement, be my guest. If you want to say that celibacy has no place in a spiritual path, then I think you will have a lot of arguments from a lot of traditions in a lot of places. You want to say that eating meat's a sin, then again you will have a lot of argument from a lot of traditions in a lot of places. So whatever your BS spin is on these things, they're yours. Take them, run with them, stay in it, feed it, I don't care. But you have no right to come and tell me how to run this path, or to downgrade and denigrate my students, or to denigrate the work that I have done for lifetimes and 45 years in this lifetime. You would do well to look after yourself. Get your house in order. Okay? Because mine has been gotten in order a long, long time ago. Namaste.